How's it going, guys? JP here, and welcome to another weekly horror news. As always, the links to all the articles and news stories will be in the description below for you to check out yourself. So let's get right into it because we kind of got a bit to get to. So first up, we have Scream, the TV series produced by MTV, has finally got its writers. They're two guys that I've never heard of before. I'm definitely not familiar with them or their work. They worked on stuff like Revenge, Criminal Minds, and The Event, which I've not seen any of that. So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that these are writers, but that is who is doing the Scream TV series. Also, I do remember Wes Craven saying that he was approached to maybe direct the pilot or some of the episodes, and he's not sure if he wants to be involved. He wants to see a script and see what they're going to do with it before he decides if he's going to be part of the Scream TV series. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the Scream TV series. It could be good, it could be bad. We're seeing a lot of these, franchises turned into TV series now, and MTV, I really don't care for a lot of the content that they put out, so that's, a little bit of a negative that it's done by them. But I'm not going to make any judgments until I see what they come up with. Also, I would kind of rather we just get another Scream film. Scream 5 would be awesome, but it looks like Scream 5 is probably not going to happen, at least not before the Scream TV series. So, Scream TV series is on its way. Back in 2007, it was announced that George Romero's classic Dawn of the Dead was going to be converted to 3D and be re-released. It turns out that that's pretty much almost done. They expect to have it finished sometime by the end of the year. There's nothing really concrete on, a release date or what scale the release will be, but they did say that it cost, about $6 million to convert it into 3D. I think it's fantastic, more people being able to see, the classic Dawn of the Dead in 3D or just regular is fine by me. So I'm definitely excited for that. I think that's cool. And from what they're saying, the conversion is going really good because of the style that George Romero filmed the film in. A little bit of news on the Poltergeist remake. They have officially cast their female lead. Her name is Rosemary DeWitt. I'm unfamiliar with her, but she was in Mad Men. Also, it's being directed by Gil Keenan, and it is being produced by Sam Raimi. So, a little bit of news there. The Poltergeist remake, I guess the ball's rolling a bit. I personally really don't care about this remake right now. Maybe sometime down the road, if I see a little bit more, I might care a little bit, but as of right now, it's totally not even on my radar. Production has started for a new film called All Cheerleaders Die. It is being co-written and directed by Chris Sivertson, who did The Lost and I Know Who Killed Me, and Lucky McKee, who did May and The Woman. Next up, a little bit more on The Evil Dead. The director of The Evil Dead was interviewed, and they kind of asked him about the extended cut that they mentioned in the commentary, and he goes on to say that the film pretty much is the director's cut of it. It's pretty much how he wanted it to be. They only really took out a few seconds of gore in certain scenes for the MPAA. And he goes on to just say that he's happy with the cut that exists out there right now. So we probably won't see any kind of extended cut or anything like that anytime soon. Also, he talks a little bit about the somewhat ending that never happened where Ash was involved. I don't want to get into it because I'll spoil it, but he does talk about that in the article, so if you're curious about that, check it out. Also, he goes into a little bit more talk on Evil Dead 2, pretty much saying the same thing. He wants it to be a continuation of the story. He just doesn't want it to be 5 new kids in a new cabin with the book doing the same thing over and again. He wants to continue the story that he set up in the first film. So a little bit more stuff on Evil Dead 2. Check out the article if you're interested. NBC announces that they're updating both Rosemary's Baby and Stephen King's The Tommyknockers. Rosemary's Baby is supposed to be a 4-hour long story of devil worship and a complex relationship between a husband and a wife, and it's supposed to be set in Paris. Not too much word on the Tommyknockers, but they plan on doing both of these. They do have the directors and producers announced, so you can check out the article for that. I really am not sure how I feel about these miniseries remake things. I've actually never seen Rosemary's Baby, and I've never seen the Tommyknockers, so as of right now, I have no opinions on that. A little bit of not too important news. We have Victor Garcia, who directed Return to House on Haunted Hill and Hellraiser Revelations, has been slated to direct a film called Crawl to Me, which is based on a graphic novel. It's supposed to be a character-driven psychological thriller-style horror film where you have a husband and wife along with their newborn baby moving into a new rural house where they are in the winter, cold winter months, and they find a crawl space in the basement which is supposedly has some sort of evil force. A release date for the film Big Ass Spider has been announced. It is October 18th on video on demand. You can check it out. I've seen the trailer. It looks like one of those made for sci-fi style movies. Giant spider, lots of CGI, some not too funny comedy attempts, and just overall not very good looking. But I do know there are fans of these, giant shark, very bad CGI type movies. So if you're interested, check out Big Ass Spider. A bit of strange news, the Butterfly Effect film is being remade. And it's being remade by the same guy who did the original film. And I find that kind of weird. I'm not really sure why they're doing that. I thought the first film was pretty good. I really like the angle on it. I like time travel type movies. And I really don't see any reason for it to be remade. It seems fine. It's fine. It's not that old. So that's a bit weird. A little bit of news about the film The Conjuring, which I have not seen yet, but I've been hearing good things from family and people online about it. Supposedly, they already greenlit a sequel, and some of the characters from the original film are contractually locked to be in the sequel. So I'm not going to say who they are in case it might spoil something. So you can check the link in the description if you want to know which characters are returning. Like I said, I haven't seen The Conjuring, but it is doing pretty good at the box office, and it's getting a lot of positive feedback, so it's only natural that they do a sequel, and which is fine by me. I'm all for sequels, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this film sometime later this year. So Kevin Smith is working on some kind of horror film called Tusk, which he has sort of messed around in the genre a bit with Red State. And from what I get, this film kind of started out as a joke. They were joking about it on his podcast, and he was talking about a Craigslist ad or something where there was this guy who wanted to hire somebody to dress up as a walrus and walk around and act like a walrus. And I guess it started out as a joke, and he joked about making a movie about it, but then social media kind of blew it up and wanted it to happen. So I guess he's actually doing it. So that just goes to show, I guess, social media has some power, and he's actually doing this film. It sounds very strange. Apparently, the Maniac remake is banned in New Zealand. I'm not certain on the details, but usually when a film gets banned or is talked about in this sort of way, it usually ends up helping it in the long run. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Maniac remake anyway, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that it's being talked about being banned or whatever. The next bit of news is about another TV series that's going to be based off of a movie, which seems to be happening a lot lately. In 2010, there was a film called Legion, which I have not seen, but I do know what it is. Sci-Fi Channel is going to make a Legion TV series, and it's going to be set 25 years in the futures, angels battling demons or something like that. So it's going to be 90 minutes long, the pilot, so that's happening. I'm not really sure if I'll check this one out or not. Like I said, I have not seen the movie. For Blu-ray and DVD releases, first up we have Halloween the 35th Anniversary Edition Blu-ray. It has a brand new commentary with John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis, also a new featurette with Jamie Lee Curtis called The Night She Came Home, along with a few other things. I'll probably actually grab this one because I did not grab the first release of Halloween on Blu-ray, so I'm looking forward to this one. Next up, we have the UK getting a release of The Wicker Man on Blu-ray. It's going to be called The Final Cut. I guess there was some lost footage and they found it. They're putting it back in for the 40th anniversary Blu-ray edition of the film. I believe it's like 102 minutes long, and it's going to be released October 14th in the UK. I've never seen The Wicker Man, but you know, the UK is getting a cool release, I guess. Next up, we have the release date for Bates Motel, the first season, which is September 17th. I like the show. I gave my opinions on the show before. It's different, but I did like it. Finally, Scream Factory has revealed some cover art for some upcoming releases. First up, we have John Carpenter's Assault on Precinct 13. Looks pretty cool. After that, we have the Amityville box set trilogy. I'm not really looking forward to the Amityville trilogy too much. Out of all the releases, I'm looking forward to that one probably the least. I don't really know why. You know, the first Amityville is okay. It's pretty good at first, but I've noticed as time goes on, it kind of doesn't get good with multiple viewings. But Amityville 2 is great. Amityville 3 is very forgettable. And finally, we have John Carpenter's Body Bags, the collector's edition. Super stoked on this release. I can't wait to watch it. I love the film. I really love the cover art too. Should be awesome. Looking forward to this one a lot. For trailers this week, first up we have the film called The Banshee Chapter, which, if you don't know anything about the drug DMT, which stands for dimethyltryptamine, I suggest you Google it and check it out before you check out the trailer to this film, because they talk about DMT in the trailer to this film, which I instantly found interesting, and it kind of looks like this weird, you know, trippy, mind-altering type of weird movie where it has to do with like some kind of psychoactive and the government. It looks kind of weird and definitely interesting. Next up, we have the second trailer for The Hunger Games Catching Fire, which I'm not exactly sure what's different from the first trailer because that first trailer came out a while ago, but the second one's out now. You can check it out. I watched it. Looks pretty good. You know, I'm looking forward to the second film. I liked, you know, I thought the first film was pretty good. It was a great movie, but I wasn't, you know, amazed by it like a lot of people. I think the story was a bit predictable, but you know, it was definitely a great movie. So looking forward to the second one. Next up, we have a trailer for NBC's TV series of Dracula. I watched the trailer and nothing really grabbed my attention or pulled me in or made me want to say, you know, I'm definitely checking this out when it premieres and I gotta see this. So it really didn't look like anything special, but I am willing to give it a try, I guess. So I guess I'll check it out. I think it airs in the fall. Next up is a trailer for the film called The Crying Dead, which is being released on DVD and video on demand in September. I watched the trailer and it looks like another one of those paranormal researchers go to investigate a place that's supposed to be haunted, and it turns out it actually is haunted. And this time I believe it's an abandoned mental hospital. They go in there, you know, there's ghosts and stuff. I've seen this done to death and it really doesn't interest me at all, but I know there are people who like these kind of things, so you can check out the trailer below. Next up is for a trailer called Gravity, which I honestly wasn't expecting much with this because I just get a list of all the trailers that came out and then I watch them, and usually there's some low budget indie stuff, and this one came up and it kind of blew me away. It's not so much like a horror trailer, but it is, you know, in that sci-fi thriller type of world, you know, survival. It's called Gravity. It's visually amazing. It's actually really chilling. There's these astronauts in space and debris starts flying by and it messes up what they're doing. Stuff starts breaking and it just starts going out of control, and it's crazy, and it's kind of intense. And definitely I was not expecting a trailer like that in a mix of all the trailers that I've already seen today. So that one looks pretty good. Check out Gravity, and I believe it comes out in October 4th.